Good health. We all want it, but how do we achieve it? Is there anything we can do to lead a healthier life? With the right attitude and the right information, you can take control of your health. Now your host, Greg Wilson.
Thank you, Julie, and thank you for watching. To Your Health is dedicated to providing you with the relevant information and maybe motivation for you and your family to lead a healthier life. Today, we'll share with you some timely information on drug reactions and interactions, a different perspective on influencing children's eating habits, and a timely segment on how you can lead a healthier life as you reach your golden years. In our Celebrity Spotlight, we'll travel to Las Vegas to interview the star of one of Las Vegas's most popular shows to see how she stays healthy with the rigors of performing. We'll cover all of this and more, but first we're going to take a look at the vital role your spine plays in your health. To help us gain a better perspective on the importance of spinal health, we're going to our field reporter, Chandra Endel, a triathlete who is currently in training for her next competition.
I am a wife and a student, not a professional athlete. I compete for the fun of it, but I'm very serious about getting the most out of my efforts. When I decided to train for my first triathlon, I realized that I would need to understand a lot more about my body and how it works in order to maximize my performances. One of the things I've learned is that having a healthy spine is crucial to my body's ability to perform at its best.
Spinal health is important in athletics. It impacts everything from the way you run, the way you jump, to everything we do as an athlete. But it's also important in our day-to-day activities. Your motion starts with your spine, and lack of motion can cause irritation or inflammation, if you will, in the joints that are involved with your spine. If joints are irritated, they can irritate the nerve, which can impact your health in many different ways.
To an athlete, these inflammations are a barrier to maximizing performance. However, they can also affect how we perform our everyday activities. Whether you're an athlete or not, there are some things you can do to help improve the health of the spine. Number one, I focus on my posture at all times. How we sit, stand, walk, and sleep does matter. When I train, whether biking, running, swimming, or lifting, I pay particular attention to my form. But I've also learned that my posture during my daily activities can greatly affect the health of my spine. Secondly, I work hard at improving the flexibility of my spine. I now know that my spinal column moves in some combination of 4 ways. So I take time each day to flex my spine in all 4 directions: forwards, backwards, side to side, and twisting my trunk. This maintains my spinal movement and also alerts me when my spine is not operating at an optimum level. Last but not least, just like I visit my dentist regularly, I get my spine checked on a regular basis. I personally visit my chiropractor at least once a month, more often when I'm in heavy training or right after a competition.
So, Chandra, almost anything we do affects our spine.
That's right, Greg, and our spine affects everything that we do.
So, to summarize, 1, work on your posture. 2, improve your flexibility. And 3, of course, get your spine checked on a regular basis.
Yes, and remember, this applies for all of us, not just high-level athletes.
Thanks, Chandra. That's some great information. When we come back, we'll join Julie Surratt with a special report on drug interactions and reactions and how to minimize your risks when you do need to take medication. To Your Health will be back in just a moment.
Have you been living with pain for so long it's become part of your everyday life? Then you should know that chiropractors are trained and licensed to treat pain without surgery or drugs. So if you want to leave pain behind, visit your local chiropractor today. It's the natural way to stay healthy.
Have you been living with pain for so long it's become part of your everyday life? Then you should know that chiropractors are trained and licensed to treat pain without surgery or drugs. So, if you want to leave pain behind, visit your local chiropractor today. It's the natural way to stay healthy.
Welcome back to Your Health. You know, at one time or another, many of us have taken some sort of medication to overcome a condition or fight off an illness. But there is growing concern for the way different medicines interact in the body. For further insight, here's Julie Surratt.
Greg, here are some startling numbers to consider. According to a report published by the Institute of Medicine, 1.5 million people are injured each year by medication errors or adverse drug events. And according to the report, these numbers are likely underestimated, as only 1% of these events may be reported.
What causes the problem?
Well, these are such scary numbers that I did some research and found some very interesting information. There are currently over 13,000 drugs on the market and approximately 100,000 over-the-counter medicines. The combination of readily available and accessible drugs and a prevalent attitude of when in pain, take a pill leads to the deadly results. Now, first of all drugs have potential side effects. All you have to do is read or listen to any drug ad to see what the potential side effects are. The fact is that any pill is foreign to the body. An unexpected decrease or increase in a drug's activity or toxicity, even at a commonly prescribed dose, may cause a poisonous response. This problem is compounded when people take multiple medications, which may occur because some patients may be seeing multiple physicians for different conditions, or they may not even be aware that non-prescription medicines or herbs could interact with their prescribed medicines. And now there is growing concern that outdated prescriptions hanging around the medicine cabinets may also be to blame. But no matter what the cause, there are really several types of reactions to watch out for.
There are several different types of drug interactions. First, we see a drug-to-drug interaction, which is probably the most common, which a medication is interfering with another medication and may alter its performance. Secondly, we see a drug-to-food interaction, where a medication may interfere with a common food or beverage that you are taking. Third, a drug-to-disease interaction, where the medication may have a different outcome because of an acute or chronic disease state that you have. And finally, a drug-to-herbal interaction. This is common because a lot of patients are out purchasing natural products.
I didn't realize there were so many potential ways for drugs to react or interact so dangerously. Is there anything we can do to prevent it from happening?
Greg, there is a lot we can do. First, each of us needs to take responsibility. While there are computerized systems at most pharmacies that catch many potential drug interactions, you need to ask questions, clearly share your health history with your doctor, investigate the drugs under consideration, and understand the potential side effects, including interaction with your current diet and nutritional habits. And secondly, consider a lifestyle change. My boss was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. He changed his exercise and eating habits and now has his diabetes under control without taking any prescription medication. So a natural drugless alternative may be a very viable first option.
I'm glad to hear that there are things we can do to reduce the risk.
Drugs may not always be necessary. A natural drugless approach could be your first option. So ask your doctor if alternatives are available. And if there are none, at least be willing to do your homework to greatly reduce the risk.
Thanks a lot, Julie. In our next segment, one of our college interns takes a personal and very different look at a major health problem facing this country and what we may be able to do. And still to come, a star performer shares how she stays healthy under the bright lights when To Your Health continues.
Have you been living with pain for so long it's become part of your everyday life? Then you should know that chiropractors are trained and licensed to treat pain without surgery or drugs. So if you want to leave pain behind, visit your local chiropractor today. It's the natural way to stay healthy.
Have you been living with pain for so long it's become part of your everyday life? Then you should know that chiropractors are trained and licensed to treat pain without surgery or drugs. So, if you want to leave pain behind, visit your local chiropractor today. It's the natural way to stay healthy.
Children's nutrition is one of the most publicized issues facing our country. According to the National Center for Health Statistics, nearly 20% of the kids between the ages of 6 and 19 are overweight or obese. The risk factors are scary: diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, not to mention low self-esteem, even depression. Yet a recent study indicates that programs created to address these issues may not be working. We call this next segment A Different Way of Looking at Things, and sent one of our interns to talk to the real experts on kids' nutrition.
When it comes to kids and nutrition, there are two things we can all agree on. One, there is a problem, a big problem. Two, whatever we're doing doesn't seem to be working. I recently spotted an article that said that the federal government is spending more than $1 billion this year on nutrition education. But a survey of the programs found that just 4 of 57 showed any hope in the fight against childhood obesity. I wanted to get a different perspective, so instead of reading more research and talking to experts, I decided to go to the source, the kids themselves. What have your mom and dad taught you about eating?
Nothing. Drink lots of milk. Eat fruits and vegetables so I can play like Derek Lee.
So what's your favorite food?
I like macaroni and cheese, some spaghetti and pizza. I like ice cream.
It's gotta be chips.
I like asparagus.
So what do you think is healthy eating?
Like carrots and dip with like apples or like cantaloupe or watermelon. Try to stay away from junk food and eat all healthy food.
Well, it's when like if you eat healthy, you grow better and it's better for you so you can live longer.
While some of these kids have a very good idea of what good nutrition is, it's obvious that no matter how much the media, nutrition experts, and even our parents try, many kids are growing up with bad eating habits. I asked a couple of parents what advice they gave their kids and what they would tell them today. How well do you think you did teaching your children good nutrition habits?
I think I did a good job.
Well, fortunately, my wife eats a little bit better than I do, so, but I think we've done okay overall.
I think we did fairly well. The kids were pretty willing to try new dishes and they weren't super picky eaters.
If you had to do everything over again, what would you do differently?
I think I would let the kids go every week with the grocery store shopping.
I wouldn't change a whole lot.
I would make sure that there was a set time that we actually would sit down.
All of this advice may sound solid, but after talking to so many kids myself, I would offer a slightly different approach. First, set a good example. There's nothing worse than a parent who says they want healthy kids, but sets a horrible example in what they eat. Second, don't nag. If you force a kid to eat something they don't like, they may never like it. Third, make sure your family leads an active life. In addition to organized leagues and teams, consider activities that involve the whole family. Fourth, get rid of the junk. Don't complain about your kids drinking too much pop when you're the one buying it. If it's not in the refrigerator, they can't drink it. Last but not least, remove "because I said so" from your vocabulary. What does that mean anyway? So there you have it, Greg. A different way of looking at kids and nutrition. On the national level, the obesity problem may be growing. But as you can see, when parents are involved, they can have a very positive impact on their kids' eating habits. Imagine how much better things could be if all parents took a positive and active role in their kids' nutrition.
Thanks, Kyle. Parents, including myself, ought to learn from the perspective you've shared with us. When To Your Health returns, we recently visited with one of Las Vegas's leading ladies to see how she copes with the stresses of performing under the bright lights. We'll be right back.
Have you been living with pain for so long it's become part of your everyday life? Then then you should know that chiropractors are trained and licensed to treat pain without surgery or drugs. So if you want to leave pain behind, visit your local chiropractor today. It's the natural way to stay healthy.
Have you been living with pain for so long it's become part of your everyday life? Then you should know that chiropractors are trained and licensed to treat pain without surgery or drugs. So, if you want to leave pain behind, visit your local chiropractor today. It's the natural way to stay healthy.
Everybody wants to be a star, but most of us don't realize how much hard work it takes to perform at such a high level. Julie Surratt files this report on how one star handles the lifestyle.
I spent many hours on stages just like this during my high school and college years following my love of the stage. And even though I saw how difficult and how physically demanding the stage can be, I can't even imagine what it would be like to perform at a professional level. So we traveled to Las Vegas to interview Elizabeth Loyacano, star of the acclaimed stage show Phantom, the Las Vegas Spectacular, to see how she deals with the rigors of performing. Watching her perform in Phantom was captivating, and going backstage gave us a deeper understanding of the demands of her role.
All of these costumes are period pieces, so they're all form-fitting, and with that comes the stress of the weight of the fabric.
But we also spent some time with Elizabeth on a personal level, getting behind the lights, costumes, and makeup to get a closer look at the woman in the spotlight. Playing Christine in the show must be a dream come true, but tell us how you got to this place in your career.
I entered into ER, the television drama series, back in 1998, and I attempted to do the behind the camera thing. But even though it was very interesting and I learned a lot, I realized my heart wasn't in it. And if you're not fully committed to it, you shouldn't be there, you know? And so I realized that the thing for me to do was to just get out there, open the trade papers, and audition.
What does it take to be an actress and stay healthy?
You know, keeping my body healthy with chiropractic care, getting adjustments when I need to, getting massage when I need to, a lot of times deep tissue where you're actually breathing through them, working through knots and things that have incurred and accrued over the week from the beatings up of costumes and falls.
Has performing taken a toll on your body?
I'm responsible for 5 shows a week, depending on what the show schedule is. As well as filling in for the other Christine, because the show is double cast. When she is out, they call me to stand by for her and I'll go on for her. So by the end of the week, all the stress that my body has taken, it definitely takes its toll.
Chiropractic care has been an important part of your success. But what would you say to someone who wants to find that success in terms of their own health and wellness?
Truth is, the 2 chiropractors that I've been involved with have really allowed me to have a career, because I couldn't even walk 10 minutes when I was in pain back in 2002 without sitting down or curling over. And without these chiropractors, I don't think I would be here.
Based on your experiences, what is the value of continuous chiropractic care?
It just allows me so much more comfort after being adjusted or getting work done properly by a trained chiropractor. It helps so much in my daily life, just augment freedom and relaxation and comfort in my body, as well as educate me in what is healthy activity to keep those muscles strong, to keep them healthy. It's absolutely imperative.
Chiropractic care has played a rather important role in Elizabeth's career success, as well as the success of her total health. Coupled with a healthy diet and daily exercise, Elizabeth should be singing, dancing, and acting for years and years to come.
Thanks, Julie. I look forward to seeing the show next time I'm in Vegas. Well, in our final segment, I'll be talking to a fitness expert to see what we can do to live a healthier life during our golden years when we return to Your Health.
Have you been living with pain for so long it's become part of your everyday life? Then you should know that chiropractors are trained and licensed to treat pain without surgery or drugs. So if you want to leave pain behind, visit your local chiropractor today. It's the natural way to stay healthy.
Have you been living with pain for so long it's become part of your everyday life? Then you should know that chiropractors are trained and licensed to treat pain without surgery or drugs. So, if you want to leave pain behind, visit your local chiropractor today. It's the natural way to stay healthy.
One of the facts of life is that we are all getting older. It's inevitable. But we have a choice as to how we live our lives as we get older. Will we choose to give in, allowing our age to limit us, or do we choose to lead healthy, vibrant lives? We explore what choices we have in our segment, Staying Active While Aging. We've invited Rochelle Ritkers, an assistant college professor of health education who focuses her teaching and research on health and fitness, and as a licensed and certified trainer, works with many adults to attain their fitness goals. Professor Ritkers, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me today.
So, what advice do you have for keeping us healthy as we get older?
There's so many people out there that are just pretty sedentary in their way of living. You know, they work in the home or they work in an office and they don't get up and get out and do things that are active. And so just getting active would really be a big thing to get, you know, to make some changes in their world.
Does fitness matter?
It really enhances your outlook on life and improves your quality of life. Maintaining cardiovascular fitness and lean muscle mass remain important parts of good health throughout our lives. Consistent physical activity not only keeps excess weight off, it also boosts immunity and mood. It promotes heart health. It may even prevent osteoporosis and cancer, and it certainly challenges the natural loss of vitality with aging.
So, regular physical activity can transform the aging experience?
Absolutely. You are never too old to start an active exercise program.
What suggestions do you have for keeping active and healthy?
First, just get up off the couch and leave the remote behind. And anything, walking is great. You don't have to run. You don't have to run a marathon. You don't have to do a triathlon. It doesn't have to be active exercise that is programmed by another group. You can be involved with your own types of things like gardening or walking the dog, or swimming is a wonderful activity that is very enjoyable. And so there's lots of possibilities, but just get moving.
Thank you, Professor Ritker, for joining us. We've covered a lot today. How to achieve spinal health, tips to minimize drug reactions and interactions, and a different look at kids' nutrition. We went behind the scenes with Elizabeth Loyacano, who shared her success with chiropractic care. And last but not least, we learned that by staying active, you may enhance your golden years. The question now is, what do we do with this information? As an aging guy, I make you this promise. I am going to take a much more active and responsible approach to my health, which will include regular visits to my chiropractor. How about you? Start today by taking responsibility for your health. Call and schedule a spinal checkup. Consider a natural approach to health as a first option. Replace that soda with a bottle of water and begin a more active lifestyle. You can do it. Here's to your health.